Now, today's episode, there are, in my opinion, only 2 hurdles in your way for you to become very, very successful at this job as a recruiter or in sales, right? And I'm almost certain that you have one of these hurdles in your way, and very likely you've actually got 2 hurdles in your way. Now, what are these hurdles? Hurdle 1 is knowing where you can improve. Or maybe the first hurdle is you don't know where you can improve. Either way, that's your first hurdle, is like, where is the area of improvement I need to make? Hurdle 1. And then hurdle 2 is actually doing the fucking work to improve. So what's that? First hurdle, where can I improve? Do you know it or not? Doesn't matter. That's still your first hurdle. And then your second hurdle is actually doing the work to improve. Now, this is a quick episode, but it's going to be a really, really important one. If you're glossing over going, oh, I don't think this is me, sit tight, hold on, 2 minutes, it might improve your life. Check this out. The good news is we can improve both of these hurdles. We can improve you out of sight in a matter of minutes, okay? So, hurdle 1, where do you need to improve? Now, you might know where your deficits lie. You may know where your black spots are. You may know where you suck. You may know where you need to improve, right? But there's a good chance what you think is your area of improvement or need to improve on, there's a good chance there's actually a core consideration underneath that. So let me give you a great analogy or an example. You've got a headache. You go, ouch, I've got a headache. And if you leave it at that surface value, you say, okay, he's got a headache, let's go and fix that. No. Maybe you've got a core issue, and maybe that core issue is you've got a twinged neck, right? And the muscle here is causing a headache. Or maybe let's bring it back to sales. Maybe you think that your problem is you're not getting through enough sales calls every day. I'm not getting through enough BD calls, whatever you want to do it. Again, maybe you would take that a surface value and you'd go, okay, I'm not making enough calls. I need to make more calls. I'd go to the core of that and go, why are you not making more calls? Because there is a good chance that you're scared of cold calls. There's a good chance, right? So the core of your issue, behind the issue you think you have, there may be a core issue underneath of that. So why do I bring this up? Because I think a lot of people will say, okay, first hurdle, where do I need to improve? And you might think you know where you need to improve, but there's a good chance that you're talking about the symptom and not the core problem, right? So what I want you to do is write down 2 things. 1, I want you to write down 2 or 3 areas you think you could improve that would vastly increase your skill set as a recruiter. If you have to press pause, do it. And then I want you to look at those areas of improvement and think, is that the issue, or is there something underneath that? Like, why? Ask yourself, why is that my issue? Why am I not making enough calls? Oh, it's because I really struggle to find the time of the day. Maybe I'm not prioritizing it. Maybe I'm subliminally putting it to the end of the day because I don't want to do it. Okay, I've got to fall in love with this process. You see where I'm going with it. So go through what you think your areas of improvement are. Maybe pick 2 or 3. That's fine. And I want you to do that whole, why am I not getting this done? Why is this a deficit? Why am I not good at this? Because just because I'm not good at it is not an answer. There's a reason. You've not put the work in or whatever. Now, within this first hurdle, once you've got that, now you look at that and go, I think I'm pretty clear on where my learnings can occur. I'm pretty sure I know where I need to improve. But I want you to put that aside and think, maybe you don't know. Who better to ask than a colleague, an ex-colleague, ex-manager, ex-friend, someone who you've worked with, who's worked with you in recruitment. I want you to text them now and say, hey, or call them, hey, I'm doing this exercise. I'd love to understand your thinking on where I might be able to improve myself. You've worked with me before. We've all got our strengths and weaknesses. Where do you think I could put my attention this week and improve myself in one area of recruitment? Where do you think that is? What comes to mind? You might be absolutely surprised by the answer. And I'll tell you something. I'll tell you a little tip. If you're offended by the answer, guarantee it, it's hitting a nerve. Guarantee it, you already know that that's a hard truth, right? So someone says, I think it's your discipline, and then it feels offensive. It's offensive because it's hitting on a heartstring. There's a bit of truth behind that, right? So I think you need to acknowledge it. If you feel shitty with this exercise, don't feel shitty. Just think, okay, it might not have been delivered correctly. It might not be delivered nicely. However, there's truth behind it. And I asked the question, right? And I want you to do that exercise because it's so valuable getting your peers' perceptions of you. You don't normally ask those sort of questions. No one's going to freely give you a criticism like that because why? It's mean. But once you open up and invite them to give you that criticism, you're going to get it. And that's what you want. Like that's where your growth is. And if you want to go one step further with working out where you need to improve, ask to multiple people. Ask 3 or 4 people. You might get an absolute consensus on where you need to put your energy. And that's a good thing. Right? Or it might confuse the shit out of you because it might give you 3 or 4 things to look at. But then you can kind of pick your battles and think, which is the most uncomfortable one here? And the most uncomfortable one there is probably where you stand to gain the most. So that's step 1. Let's go through that activity. Where is the hurdle? Hurdle number 1, where are we going to improve ourselves? You know, there's 2 ways you can go about and doing that. Now, number 2, hurdle. You know, the next thing is now you know where your learnings can occur. Do the fucking work. Right? You might know that this is where my deficit lies. You might know that I am very much avoiding this. I know I need to put the work in there. I know that if I develop myself here, if I get this bit right, I'm going to go to the next level. So many people stop at that. They think, now I've identified it, it's going to sort itself out. It's not. It's not. You need to put in the work. And that is hurdle number 2. Are you actually putting in the work to improve? I've got this book at the moment I'm reading. It's great. It's called Do the Work. And that is literally 100 pages, a sugar hit, basically saying, just fucking go. Just do it. Just make a mess and clean it up as you go. You know, don't overthink it. Thinking about the thing is not doing the thing. Looking at the thing is not doing the thing. Planning for the thing, researching the thing is not doing the thing you need to do. Doing the thing is the thing. Doing the thing is doing the thing. There's no 2 ways about it. So that is hurdle number 2, and that is the biggest one that we all have because we run out of time, we don't prioritize it, but guess what? Next month, you're exactly where you are this month. The following month, you're exactly where you are 2 months ago. You're not growing. You're not improving. You might have a slight few wins if you're not, but if you do not have that shift in mentality of, I'm going to fucking put in the work, I'm going to put in the effort to build up this skill set and improve on an area that my peers have identified I suck at, I've identified I'm not too good at, or I could improve on. I've also understand the core sort of problem underneath this symptom. But if you don't do the work, what's the point in doing all that stuff? So ask yourself now, am I going to do the work? If the answer is no, turn this episode off, go away, you're wasting your time. But if the answer is, you know what, I will put in the work, okay? Then work through this episode. Work out where you can improve, whether you're asking yourself the right questions or whether you're asking your peers and your colleagues, your ex-managers or friends where you can improve, and then make a plan. And it doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be big. You just go, every day, 30 minutes, I'm going to apply to developing that skill. Do that for 21 days straight. And I can guarantee you are going to improve out of sight. And that thing that is tough, that area you need to improve on, guess what? You're going to bloody improve on it. That's all I have time for you today. If you got anything out of today's episode, like, share, subscribe. I know it's cliche, but it really does help us grow. We're trying to grow our YouTube channel. We want you to follow that channel. We're getting to a level where we might be able to unlock some new features for you guys, which is what we want to be doing. We want to build this community. So commenting, sharing, it really does help. I can't stress that enough. As always, have an amazing day, and may all your deals and self-improvements, getting over your hurdles, come true.